What if everything we learned in the last episode was only the beginning? Because after one of the biggest episodes of the season, the trailer for From Season 4 Episode 8 is teasing something even more dangerous. Fatima's connection to Smiley appears to be getting stronger. May be changing his entire plan for the caves. Henry looks closer than ever to completely losing control, and there is one mysterious phone call that could change everything. And honestly, the closer we get to the finale, the more it feels like the town is preparing for something catastrophic. Hey, what's up everyone? Come back to Breakdown Epic. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So right from the start, this trailer wastes absolutely no time. The first major moment shows Boyd speaking with Kenny and saying that if they're going to do this, they have to do it right. He also makes it clear that he's not leaving people down there. Now personally, I think this line tells us everything about Boyd's mindset after what happened in the previous episode. Kenny almost died. Not only did Boyd witness it happen, but he was basically powerless to stop it. That experience clearly changed something. Up until now, Boyd has been willing to take huge risks if it meant getting answers. But after seeing Kenny come so close to death, it feels like he's finally realizing that charging into the caves without a solid plan could be a disaster. And here's the really important detail. The totems failed. The entire purpose of Kenny's mission was to test whether those things could actually protect people from the monsters. They didn't. So now, Boyd is back at square one. Which raises a scary question. If the totems don't work, then what exactly does work? And that might become the biggest problem heading into this episode. But before we can even think about the caves, the trailer immediately throws another mystery at us. Gunshots. We hear them interrupt Boyd's conversation, and honestly, that could mean almost anything. However, one person instantly came to mind. Henry. Because right now, Henry feels like the most vulnerable character in the entire town. His grip on reality is becoming weaker and weaker, and after everything we've seen involving Sophia's manipulation, I wouldn't be surprised if Henry starts seeing things that aren't actually there. Imagine this for a second. Henry sees a threat. Maybe a monster. Maybe someone he believes is dangerous. Maybe something connected to the visions. He grabs a weapon and fires. But what if the threat isn't real? What if Sophia is simply pushing him further toward a breakdown? That possibility feels very real right now.
And honestly, it's exactly the kind of psychological horror this show loves to explore. But the trailer gets even darker. We didn't see what appears to be a gathering outside Colony House. And from the look of it, somebody is being burned. Now, unless the trailer is intentionally misleading us, this is probably Roger. After everything that happened recently, Roger's story appears to have reached its end. But here's what caught my attention. Sophia seems to be nearby, watching, almost observing everything unfold. And if there's one thing we've learned recently, it's that Sophia enjoys manipulating people. She enjoys creating fear. So tell me if I'm reaching here. What if Roger isn't completely done causing problems? What if Sophia somehow uses him one more time before the residents can finally move on? It sounds crazy, but in this town, crazy has become normal. And that brings us to what might be the most important scene in the entire trailer, Fatima. Because when Boyd asks if she saw Kenny in trouble, her response is fascinating. She doesn't just say she saw him. She says it felt like she was actually there. That changes everything. Because this isn't just a vision anymore. This feels deeper, much deeper.
Personally, I think we're seeing the consequences of her connection to Smiley evolve into something new. The previous episode made it very clear that Fatima is connected to him in a way nobody fully understands. And now that connection might be giving her access to things happening elsewhere in the town. Almost like she's becoming linked to the town itself. But here's another possibility. The golem. Most people are focused on whether the golem can physically protect people. But what if that's not its purpose? What if its protection works differently? What if it's acting more like a bridge, a warning system, a way for Fatima to witness danger before it happens? If that's true, then the group may be sitting on one of the most valuable tools they've ever had, and they probably don't even realize it yet. The next moment in the trailer made me laugh a little, because Ellis responds by saying one simple thing.
Show me. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure how he expects that to work. But maybe this scene is setting up something bigger. Maybe the group starts experimenting with Fatima's connection. Maybe they try to intentionally reach Smiley. Or maybe they discover she can access information nobody else can. Whatever happens, it feels like this storyline is about to become a central piece of the mystery.
And that's huge. Now, meanwhile, we get a scene involving Ethan, Victor, and Tabitha, and this conversation feels incredibly important. Ethan asks Victor to teach him how to survive alone. That line immediately stood out to me, because Ethan isn't talking like a normal child anymore. He's talking like someone preparing for the worst. And honestly, that's terrifying. Victor has spent most of his life surviving this place. He understands the patterns, he understands the cycles, and he understands that terrible things keep repeating. So when Ethan starts preparing to survive alone, it almost feels like the show is planting seeds for something much bigger. Could Ethan eventually become another Victor? Could he be the next survivor left behind after another disaster? It's only a theory, but the trailer definitely wants us thinking about it. And there's another layer to this, Victor's attitude. Because if Victor is preparing Ethan for life without everyone else, then maybe Victor himself believes his own time is running out. That possibility is heartbreaking, but it would explain why he's suddenly focused on passing down everything he knows. And trust me, what Victor knows could become extremely important before this season ends.
Especially with the Lake of Tears mystery still hanging over everything. But then we reach the final stretch of the trailer, and that's where Jade steps in, frustrated, determined, and possibly more convinced than ever that he's right. Jade says there's a reason nobody has escaped, and maybe it's because nobody has been willing to make the hard decisions. That line feels massive because it suggests that the real obstacle might not be the monsters, it might not be the town, it might be the people. Fear has always controlled this place, and maybe Jade is finally reaching a point where he's willing to do things others won't. Now, whether that's a good thing or a terrible thing remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. Jade believes the answers are within reach, and that makes him one of the most dangerous characters heading into the finale, because desperate people make risky choices, and risky choices usually come with consequences. We also get quick shots of Donna, Boyd, Henry, Sophia, and finally Tabitha entering a room where a phone begins ringing. And honestly, that phone might be the biggest mystery in the trailer. Who is calling? That's the question. Could it be connected to Jim? Could it be another warning? Could it be someone reaching out from a different point in time? At this stage, nothing feels impossible anymore. And that's exactly why this scene is so exciting. Because every major revelation this season started with something small. A clue, a symbol, a conversation, a vision. Maybe this phone call is the next piece of the puzzle. Or maybe it's the beginning of an even bigger nightmare. Either way, Episode 8 looks like it's setting up some huge developments before the final episodes arrive. The caves are becoming more dangerous. Fatima's abilities are expanding. Henry is becoming increasingly unstable. Victor seems worried about the future. And Jade looks ready to take risks nobody else is willing to take. All of that tells me one thing. The storm is coming. And when it finally arrives, I don't think everyone is making it through. But what do you think? Who fired those gunshots? What is Fatima really becoming? And who do you think is on the other end of that phone call? Let me know your theories in the comments below because I genuinely want to hear your take on this. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future From theories and episode breakdowns. I will catch you in the next one.